Amiya has always been a beautiful soul full of love, laughter, friendship, a passion for animals. Amiya's death will not be in vain.
When trust turns toxic and fame turns dangerous, lives can be lost in the most shocking ways. What was supposed to be a fun night out turned into betrayal and tragedy for 25-year-old Amiya Cunningham. She went out with friends to celebrate life, but never made it back home. It was April 26, 2025. That night, Amiya had every reason to celebrate. Her little sister's prom, her aunt's birthday, and her own new chapter ahead in school. She went out with a group of women she trusted, expecting a night of fun at King of Diamonds nightclub. But according to friends and witnesses, things started to feel off. A little tension, a little jealousy, and the mood slowly shifted. Still, Amiya pushed through, not realizing the night was about to take a deadly turn. When the party ended, the group split into 3 cars. Amiya had a safer option. Her male friend, T, offered her a ride. But instead, she got into another car with her longtime friends, Deja and Mickey. On the road, Amiya texted T a message that now feels chilling. The vibes are off. I should have rode with you. That was her last warning sign. At a red light on Forest Parkway, the cars stopped. Surveillance video later showed Amiya getting out to dance and twerk in front of the SUV driven by Alexandria Watkins. But what happened next shocked everyone. Alexandria suddenly hit the gas, running Amiya over and dragging her body nearly 40 feet before speeding off. Her so-called friends, Deja and Mickey, stayed behind. But when police questioned them, they allegedly pretended not to know who Amiya even was. 12 years of friendship, thrown away in an instant of lies. Amiya was rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital, where doctors fought to save her. She was revived 4 times, but sadly did not survive. Hours later, Alexandria returned to the scene with her husband, acting like she was just another bystander. But by then, surveillance footage and witness accounts were spreading online, and the truth started to come out. At first, this looked like a hit and run. But when the footage went viral, the story exploded, and people began calling what it really was betrayal, plain and simple. This isn't only about one young woman's life cut short. It's about trust, loyalty, and those gut feelings we sometimes ignore. Amiya sensed something was wrong that night, but stayed close to people she thought were her friends. In the end, that decision cost her everything. Rest in peace to Amiya Cunningham. A young life with so much potential, gone too soon.
Our family will see to it that Amiya gets the justice that she deserves.
Today, her family and friends honor Amiya's life.
I'm so happy to have her in my life and as a friend.
Just to know that she was even in the process of changing her life around makes me happy.
Maya didn't mean no harm to nobody.
We gonna live for Maya.
Despite their tears, this family holds each other.
Today we mourn, but we also remember, because love never dies.
Maya's light won't either.
And while that story shows how trust can end in tragedy, this next case shows how chasing fame and risky content can also cross dangerous lines. They thought it was just another wild video, but what happened inside that apartment turned deadly and shocking. The case centers on an OnlyFans model who was accused of a deadly act during what was supposed to be a consensual encounter. Prosecutors say the victim was left with a plastic bag tied over his head, while disturbing video clips from that night were later uncovered. The shocking detail is that some of this was even filmed for content on OnlyFans. Now, the medical examiner took the stand and made it very clear the cause of death was homicide. The victim had clear signs of suffocation, and the examiner dismissed claims that it could have been some kind of self-inflicted accident. That ruling alone had the courtroom in silence, because it turned the case from speculation into a direct claim of murder. But it didn't stop there. A roommate gave testimony that made the situation even darker. According to the witness, the victim was not only filmed but treated like he was part of a twisted performance. The bag was tied, and there was no sign of him agreeing to that level of danger. This paints a picture that feels more like cruelty.
Essentially, there was a lack of oxygen to the brain because of the plastic wrapping around the head, leading to fatal injury.
Then consent. Of course, the defense team tried to spin the story differently. They argued that the victim had his own dangerous lifestyle, that he engaged in risky behavior for content, and that this may have been one of those moments gone wrong. But let's be real. Once a medical examiner says homicide, it becomes hard to convince a jury that this was just an accident. And then comes the issue of money and motive. Prosecutors pointed out how the OnlyFans content played a role in everything, raising questions about whether it was about fame, followers, or financial gain. When you hear details like that, it makes you wonder if the victim was used as a prop instead of being treated like a person. This case is not just about one tragedy. It also opens up a bigger discussion about how far people will go for online fame and how dangerous it can get when boundaries are pushed in the name of content. Your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those cases that people are going to be debating for a long time. So that's the latest update from the courtroom. The testimony is heavy, the evidence is graphic, and the stakes couldn't be higher. We'll keep watching closely to see where the case goes from here.
Boots and glue them on his feet with Gorilla Glue. He was asking her to buy dildos and glue them in his mouth. And he also asked her to pour pools of Gorilla Glue into his eyes to glue them shut so that she was the last girl that he would ever see.
Hear him say, can we stop? I'll pay you a certain amount more money to stop. And that's when I realized that it wasn't a friend, it was a prostitute.
That's what we see here.
Same thing, Michaela's sitting there topless, masturbating with a vibrator, lip syncing to the music. It pans down to Mr. Dale laying at her feet, motionless, still wrapped up the same exact way. Looked like she might have been resting her foot on him.
You mentioned in the previous clip how there was one moment where Mr. Dale's body kind of moves or shifts. Any movement with Mr. Dale in this clip?
No.
Like this. It appeared to be like some sort of tape and rope around his wrists. He was wearing red pants and had both of his legs bound together by a clear plastic wrap. And he was also wearing some black boots.
Could you walk us through sort of your mindset as you're rendering CPR on the male laying down?
Obviously, I'm trying to give effective CPR, but my thought process is wanting to get that person out of the room. She seemed kind of frantic.
You're talking about the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why is it important in your mind to get her out of the room?
For me, it's more of just an officer safety standpoint. I'm not sure what the true nature of what I'm walking into is, so I prefer for me to just be there alone.
So, towards the end of the video, we see other personnel arrive. Were those paramedics?
Yes, sir.
Did they take over with the rendering of CPR?
They did.
After that, did you stick around on scene?
Yes, sir.
And were you tasked with doing anything else on scene?
Yes. Ultimately, what I did was remain in the room and assist with evidence collection.
Can you tell us about what sort of evidence you collected there from the bedroom?
Sure. We had like I believe there were like bundles of what appeared to be used tape, yellow rope. There was about 7 boxes of clear plastic wrap, rolls of clear plastic wrap. I collected 3 bottles of Gorilla Glue. I believe we also impounded the black boots and a clear, like, medium-sized bag with red lipstick on it.
You mentioned black boots.
Yes, sir.
What black boots?
My partner who assisted at the hospital collected the black boots that were on Mr. Dale's feet.
Can you describe the boots that were on Mr. Dale's feet?
Yeah, they were like these thick leather, kind of shiny black boots.
Do you remember seeing those boots on him when you walked into the room that night?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
So
So you didn't see any weapon on her, correct?
I did not, sir.
It was more just kind of to control the situation. It's easier if she's not there. You don't have to deal with her. You don't have to have your attention divided, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And so you asked her to step outside.
I did.
She stepped outside.
She ultimately, yes, sir.
And she stayed outside until other units arrived, correct?
That's correct, sir.
She didn't flee.
No, sir.
She didn't try and leave, correct?
No, sir.
And it's your understanding that she did speak with other officers about what happened, correct?
Yes, sir.
So like I mentioned, this encounter happened back in April of 2023. However, Michaela wasn't arrested and charged until this year in 2025. The charge came after the medical examiner ruled Michael's death as a homicide.
Is it fair to say that if Mr. Dale had not consumed any alcohol from the time that he went in, that he became unresponsive to the time that he went to the hospital, that his alcohol level may have been higher at the time that the incident happened?
Sure.
It might have been higher than a .33.
Absolutely.
And typically for most people, .40 is considered to be a near fatal or fatal level of alcohol, correct?
Yes, that's a correct guideline.
Now, alcohol is a depressant, correct?
Yes.
And that's what suppresses the fact that you're breathing, correct? Is the depressant acts.
Yes.
He also had trazodone in his system, correct?
Yes.
He had, was it 0.13 nanograms of trazodone?
I think it was 0.17 milligrams per liter.
0.17 milligrams per liter. Now that's a therapeutic level, correct?
I think it's actually subtherapeutic, but yeah, within that range. Sure.
But it's a depressant as well, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that can have a reaction with alcohol, enhancing alcohol's effects, correct?
Yes.
So the two together could cause a person's respiratory to be to be suppressed, correct?
It could have a synergistic effect, yes.
Now, I just got to say here that you can really see the arguments for both sides. The prosecution claims that this was a murder. However, the defense argues this was a terrible accident. Even though this isn't a trial, a jury will eventually have a lot to consider, like the text messages between Michaela and the victim.
What was the nature of the messages back and forth?
The nature of it was Mr. Dale asking Ms. Rylersdam to do certain things for him. He was asking her to buy boots and glue them on his feet with Gorilla Glue. He was asking her to buy dildos and glue them in his mouth. And he also asked her to pour pools of Gorilla Glue into his eyes to glue them shut, so that she was the last girl that he would ever see.
And based on these text messages, were you able to tell whether Mr. Dale was offering money in exchange for these acts?
Yes, I believe he was going to offer some money. I don't remember how much it was.
We see on the top left-hand corner Michael Dale, and then next to that it says the Queen. Based on your investigation, who is the Queen?
Michaela Rylersdam.
Okay. And then to the right of the Queen, we see a timestamp. Is that fair?
Correct.
And then to the right of that, does it tell us whether it's an incoming or outgoing text?
Yes.
All right. So this first text, is this an incoming text?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and read the body of the text for us?
The body says, "So what color boots are you going to get? Black, red, pink for me. How about the bright pink?"
And is this a text from Michael Dale to the defendant, Ms. Rylersdam?
Yes.
All right. There's mention of boots. How do the boots fit in to this? We have to go back here?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, if you need to point things out, great. Otherwise, I don't think you need to be up here.
Thank you. So there's a mention of boots in this very first text. Can you tell us, based on your investigation of the case, what's the significance, if any, of the boots?
So Mr. Dale was asking Ms. Rylersdam to buy a pair of boots and glue them onto his feet. And when Mr. Dale was found, he did have a pair of boots glued onto his feet. They had to be removed in the emergency room.
Were those the same boots that Officer Edwards was describing?
Those are the same boots that he saw on him. And I believe there was a second pair that were in the room on the floor.
So one pair glued onto Mr. Dale's feet, second pair of unused boots on the floor, is that fair?
I believe so.
Okay. So the very next text message in the middle, what are we looking at here?
It's a photo of some dildos.
And again, is this an outgoing text from Michael Dale to the defendant, Ms. Rylarsdam?
This is an incoming text from Michael Dale. This is from Ms. Rylarsdam's phone. So it's an incoming text from Michael Dale to Ms. Rylarsdam.
Thank you. And you said it's a picture of dildos?
Yeah, it's a advertisement on Etsy for to buy dildos for $36.
Can you read the next text message for us at the very bottom of page 1?
It's also incoming from Mr. Dale, and it says, I was thinking of something like this, say 6 inches long, that you could put down my throat before you glue my mouth shut.
Before we flip to page 2, can you tell us what is the timestamp or time frame of these text messages?
The picture came in at 7:05 p.m. on 3/26/23, and the text message came in at 7:06 p.m. So one right after the other.
So fair to say a couple weeks before the incident?
Correct.
All right. Let's flip to page 2 on People's 3. For the record, timestamp of these first couple messages are March 27th of 2023. Is that accurate, sir?
Yes.
All right. Walk us through the first 3 texts that we see on the second page. Can you go ahead and read those and describe who's sending them and who's receiving them?
Sure. These all 3 are incoming from Michael Dale to Michaela Rylarsdam. The first is on 3/27/23. It's at 9:32 a.m. The body of the text reads, yes, I have been seriously thinking about you gluing my eyes shut at the end.
Okay, how about the next text?
The next text is the same day at 11:57 a.m., which says, can we glue my eyes shut, please? So sexy, you being the last beautiful angel I ever see.
And how about the next text?
The next text is at 12 p.m., so 3 minutes later, and it states, so can we please glue my eyes shut at the end, seriously?
And that's also from Mr. Dale to the defendant?
Correct.
All right, so we see 5 total texts on this page. We've gone through 3 of them. Can you go ahead and read for us the next or 4th text message?
The next text message is an outgoing message from Michaela to Michael Dale at 12:01 p.m., which says yes.
All right, and how about the 5th and final text?
That's from Michael Dale to Michaela Rylarsdam at 12:03 p.m., which says, I seriously want a pool of glue over each eye, okay?
If you could turn to the 3rd page of this exhibit, People's 3. There are 4 text messages on this 3rd page. For the record, the first text, is this incoming from Michael Dale to the defendant?
Yes.
And what's the timestamp on this one?
12:05 p.m. on 3/27, the same day.
And go ahead and read that for us.
I want to make sure that I can never, in capitals, I can never ever see another girl, okay?
How about the second text message?
The second one is from Michaela Rylarsdam to Michael Dale, outgoing at 12:09 p.m., and it says never.
And the 3rd?
The 3rd is from Michael Dale to Michaela Rylarsdam. It's at 12:11 p.m., and the text reads, so does that mean you will truly and honestly put a pool of Gorilla Glue in each eye to make it truly permanent for me, my sexy angel?
And the 4th text, was this the defendant's response to that?
Yes, it's an outgoing text message from Michaela Rutlersdam to Michael Dale at 12:13 p.m. And it says, "I will do whatever we put into writing to be signed